the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Coming at you live from the Ron Miller Race Cars Hammer Down Racing Report studio. This is the Thursday, October 6th show number 251, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Time to quit the idle chit-chat, Scott, and get down to some serious racing business.
Such as?
Talking to our guests tonight, talking about racing.
Yeah. What
else is there?
Tonight on the show, we'll be speaking with the current ARCA Menards Series point leader, Nick Sanchez. He's got a 2-point lead going into the finale Saturday at Toledo Speedway. Daniel Dye is right behind him there in second. We're going to talk to Nick Sanchez in about 3 minutes or so.
And Toledo's always a wild card race.
Yeah, and looking through his history, he's more of a speedway guy than a short track guy. So we'll talk to him about that, see what his thoughts are and what his plans are for this weekend to try and get that title.
Toledo is the Bristol of ARCA racing. So yeah, we'll see how this one plays out.
I thought Bristol was the Bristol of ARCA racing.
Nah, the guys play nice when they go to Bristol.
Sounds good. Also on the show a little bit later, we'll be speaking with 410 sprint racer Greg Wilson coming off his fourth win at Fremont Speedway this past weekend. They got the Jim and Joanne Ford Classic this weekend. The All-Stars coming to town for 2 nights of racing. Plus, we'll hear from Ryan Weekman and his forecast, the weekend weather pit stop. You definitely want to tune in. I think we'll be racing, but you may need to wear some extra layers this weekend.
Yeah, same for the folks heading to the Whiteford Fall Festival that, with any luck, we'll talk about a little later.
Lots to get to tonight. Dominator Race Products are working on an 81 Camaro nose kit to be available in 12 colors. You see?
I did.
See that?
I wonder if that's any different than the 80 Camaro.
Well, it's a year newer, so yes.
must be more aerodynamic.
There you go. They specialize in body components for late models, modified sprint cars, street stocks, and much more. Check them out at DominatorRaceProducts.com or call 419-923-6970. Also available from reputable dealers across the United States, including Ron Miller Race Cars, talking about all those Dominator race products.
They make some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race. Make sure to follow them on social media or visit oakshaderaceway.com. Race season may be over, but the swap meet's coming up a week from Saturday, and the awards banquet coming up in the first Saturday in December. That'll be December 3rd.
Wow, what a surprise.
Yeah, always is that same weekend. $10 spot fee for the swap meet, and beyond that, no admission charge. So pretty cool deal there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I might need to go and look at stuff. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. Now's the time to start working on custom 2023 calendars for fans, crew members. You're a fan, you want to get a Ron Miller calendar, you could put together your own custom calendar.
Or you could get Ron Miller a Ron Miller calendar.
You could. That would be weird, but yeah, you could do that. I'm hitting the wrong thing.
Thank you, here. Dean Henry.
Oh, yeah, and Ron was on Channel 11 the other day. Back to Freeze Frame here. They also do special photo shoots by appointment. Make sure to call Charlie, 419-476-9978. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments, frozen in time. He's got more time to do those custom photo shoots now that racing season is about wrapped up. Also, thanks to Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon in Perrysburg. So, yeah, you were on 10 or 11 earlier today, and I guess we'll talk about that later, because I believe we have
I hear the phone ringing.
Nick Sanchez calling in. Hopefully I got this connected. Hammer Down Racing Report.
Hi, this is Nick.
Hey, Nick Sanchez. It's Scott Hammer and Ron Miller. How's it going?
Hey, welcome to the show.
Not much. Doing well. Thank you.
All right, we're live here, so we're going right into it. Are you in Toledo yet, or are you still?
I am not. No, still at home.
When do you get into Toledo for this weekend's race?
I will be flying there tomorrow morning.
Okay, coming from
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, very cool. So you got a 2-point lead. Going into this weekend at Toledo Speedway, do you approach things any differently as to your routine for this weekend?
Oh no, I mean, I think the same goal applies to every race. You want to try to go win it. Obviously, short tracks aren't exactly our forte this year. But I mean, a lot of work gone into this car, and just our ideology approaching the short track. Just trying to change some of our bad habits, my bad habits, the team's bad habits, and just trying to put everything together. But our mindset is we want to go win.
So why do you think the short tracks haven't been as kind to you?
Just I feel like every team has their, not, I don't want to say focus, but their strong suit, and ours for some reason are always the bigger tracks, and we just struggled at the short tracks as a company. I don't know why, but we've me and my team have worked very hard to try to turn our luck around, and we've been able to make some strides, but still a little bit of a deficit, but hopefully we close that back up this weekend.
Nick, define longer tracks for some of our listeners, just in case they don't know all the places you visit, and which of those are your favorite?
I really honestly wouldn't say they're my favorite. I love short track. That's what the first 2 years before, running ARCA, that's what I ran. And, we, us as Rev Racing and late model stocks, we found very good success, in the, the East Coast late model scene. But, I feel like, for some reason our ARCA program, the mile and up track seemed to be our strong suit. So obviously we want to turn that around this weekend, and, we want to win in the short track, probably more than anyone.
Yeah, you got win at Michigan, Talladega, and I believe you had 2 other wins this year.
Just Michigan, Talladega, and Kansas.
Kansas, okay. There was another one. So some big tracks, and so are you a little worried though going into this weekend then with the championship on the line?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I think the script is wrote. I know what I have to do, and if I don't do it, I'm gonna lose the championship. So. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm relaxed.
Okay, so are you going to be you and your team, I should ask, are you going to be paying attention to where Daniel Dye is relative to you during the race, or is that just going to be totally out of your mind?
I mean, at the end of the day, if you do pay attention to it, it's out of your control. If he's leading the race and I'm running fourth, I can't. There's not many things I can do in my playbook to change that outcome. So. I just have to focus on my race, and I need to get the most out of my car, and we need to be smart throughout the race and be there at the end. So I can only control my own race, and that's what I'm going to do.
Excellent. So what would assuming you do come away with the championship, how big is that for you this?
Yeah, it's going to be huge, and I think but nobody deserves it better than or more, should I say, than my team owner Max Siegel. What he's done for young drivers in NASCAR. 10 years ago, he won the K&N East Championship with Kyle Larson, and he's gone on to obviously do great things. So he's had a hand in a lot of drivers' developments. And, to get this for him, Chevrolet, Gainbridge came on this year as a partner, and, hopefully for years to come. To get this for him would mean a lot to me, and I know it would mean a lot to him.
So this would be his first championship too?
No. He won the K&N East title 10 years ago with Kyle Larson.
Okay.
So who are some of your racing heroes that, maybe why you got into racing?
I feel like Dale Jr. was the main one, just his presence, and, the middle to late 2000s it's something that attracted me, and, that was the driver I was rooting for. And, I think that's why I watched races. That's why I went to the races at Homestead. And I believe he's probably my racing hero.
Nick, you talked about K&N East. Any heroes in that series? There's some really great racers over there that don't get a lot of national acclaim.
Not necessarily. I honestly didn't follow any other racing other than the Cup Series, and even growing up, I followed that very vaguely. So honestly, I didn't even know the K&N East Series existed till 2017.
Nice. So you also you got a ride. Just recently started running some Xfinity races with Big Machine Racing. How's that been going?
Yeah, it's been going good, and I'm growing as a driver more than I ever have in that ride. Just just the Cup drivers that have, been able to have the opportunity to drive that before me. It's obviously very big shoes to fill, and, it's teaching me how to work with a big team and, all the resources they have, and to use that to my advantage.
How different is it competing at that level than it is with the ARCA guys?
Yeah, it's just a different game. And, ARCA, you have so many things that you have in Xfinity that you don't in ARCA, live pit stops, choose cone and all that. And, that could take you out of the race very quickly, but it could also bring you back in very quickly. And, just the races being, twice as long, and so forth. It's taught me patience, and, you have to be there at the end. And, you could be 15th and you could be 5th the next lap later on the restart. So, a lot of unknowns, and you just have to perform at a very high level. There's a lot of good drivers and a lot of good teams, and, there's 15 teams that can win. And, it's not easy, but, this isn't easy. And, I'm growing more as a driver than I ever have over there.
You talked about the choose cone there briefly. NASCAR has added a lot of gimmicks over the year, but personally, I like that one. Your thoughts?
I like that one. Just racing legend cars and late models. It just kind of gives you an opportunity to choose your destiny. Some tracks you might be second in the outside groove. You line up there in an ARCA car, you're going to lose 2 spots. So you don't have a lot of control over that. And I feel like I applaud NASCAR for, bringing the choose cone back. And I think it excites the racing. It also gives, maybe a driver running 10th an opportunity to line up 5th in the, unpreferred groove, as you'd say.
Yep.
So I love it.
Who has the ultimate say in that? I mean, I'm guessing you're communicating with your crew, but who has the ultimate say as to which line you end up taking?
I'd say mostly driver. There's multiple factors into choosing, your line. And, wherever the driver feels more comfortable, if you lose one, you gain 2, wherever you're more comfortable is what the team always voices that you do. So I just try to play it smart.
It seems a lot of times it's a split-second decision, so a crew chief or a spotter really wouldn't have the opportunity to give you any feedback.
Yeah, I feel like, listening to a lot of radio, the top drivers and, every series, all 3 national series, they pick where they want to start. And, spotter obviously helps them, but at the end of the day, they know where they want to go. And I feel like the best drivers just have to do that. If you lose 2 rows, gain 2, whatever, you just got to go with your gut.
You've been doing pretty good here. You got 11th place finish at Texas a few weeks ago. Your next race coming up a week from Saturday at Las Vegas. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've made a lot of mistakes, at Bristol and Texas, and I guess it's good when you're disappointed with an 11th place finish from where we ran that day. But just learning for Vegas. There's it's a lot to take in. That organization did pretty much RCR equipment. So when you're in that equipment, you have to perform, and everyone has the expectation. So it's just about me getting comfortable. Me approaching the weekend, with confidence as far as simulator and the setup that I choose to bring with my car. So just learning that and learning the do's and the don'ts. I've learned all the don'ts you could learn. So Vegas, I'm very confident going into Vegas, and I believe Chevy power there with the engines we have will be very good. And confident in my big machine racing team. What's
the biggest don't that you've learned?
Don't
speed on pit road.
What was that?
Don't speed on pit road, and don't speed on pit road, and don't detune yourself before you even get to the track. As far as simulator stuff. So I've learned that, and become a better driver because of it. And
So do you do a lot of simulator work to prep for those races?
Oh yeah, nowadays, every big organization, their whole car setup's based off that. So if you go the wrong direction virtually, you're gonna be heading in the wrong direction when you get to the track. So that's very very tight line to walk, and you have to be perfect when you make those decisions.
Now, do you do any simulation prep for the ARCA races? Have you been prepping for Toledo?
No, there's no simulator that I know of that has Toledo, and I'd say most of the ARC schedule is not on the simulator. And luckily I have 3 starts there, so I know kind of what I want and what I need to do. So all the sim work I've done is for the bigger tracks.
What's been your best finish at Toledo?
I think 3rd last year.
Okay.
So I want to say 3rd.
That's not too bad. Charlie from ARCA sent over this spreadsheet with like all these different scenarios of if you finish here and Dan finishes here, then you'll get the points or he'll get it, like this whole huge sheet. I mean, I'm assuming you just put all that stuff out of your mind and you're just out there to do the best you can.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I need to finish in front of the 483 to control my destiny, and that's the only thing I have control in. So, points, all that means kind of absolutely nothing to me at the moment. So I just got to go, do my best. And obviously I want to win. That's my goal.
Gotcha. Now, how busy of a weekend do you have? I know there's an event tomorrow afternoon in downtown Toledo that you're part of, but after that, do you get to kind of just concentrate on Saturday's race, or do you have more events after that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty relaxed day. I think I have, 1 or 2 events tomorrow, and I race Saturday, mid-afternoon. So pretty relaxed weekend and kind of a short weekend, which I enjoy. I don't like a lot of downtime at the track, so I just show up Saturday and do my job. So yeah, pretty chill weekend.
Did I see that he's going to be rubbing elbows with our mayor and some other dignitaries?
You got that email too then.
Yeah. How well do you deal with those things, Nick?
Frank Kimmel's going to be there too. Have you
actually didn't even know. I have no idea who's going to be at the press conference. But
surprise!
That's cool. That's cool that the mayor's going to be there. We always meeting different folks in different positions is always very cool, and I enjoy that very much.
And Frank Kimmel's going to be along there as well. I'm assuming you've met him before.
I don't think I've met him. I mean, I raced with him at Salem, but I don't believe I've met him.
Maybe you could pick his brain. He's got a few laps around Toledo Speedway as well.
Yeah, sure.
Any worries about the cold weather? I don't know if you've seen the forecast, but it's supposed to winter's coming, but it's going to be cold this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that just makes my job a lot easier. Probably not going to even sweat in the race car, so that's nice, especially coming, born and raised in Miami. It's 85 and sunny all year round, so that's going to be very nice weather. Get back a jacket.
How will that affect the car? Will the track be faster, more grip?
Yeah, I mean, you're just going to have more grip. So honestly, I think that's probably going to play into our hand a little bit more, because the hotter it gets, our car just loses. It feels like I just lose grip on the short tracks. That's been our biggest struggle. So cool weather will be nice. I mean, obviously, the cars are still going to be slipping and sliding once they get heat in them, but it's just going to probably make for a faster racing.
Awesome. Any thoughts, or has there been any talks about what you're going to be doing next year?
Oh yeah. I'm obviously conversations are happening, and every time I do good, those conversations seem to move quicker. So that's what I'm shooting for these, this last ARCA race and my last 2 Xfinity races. So I know if I perform, hopefully, the opportunities will follow shortly after. So just gotta do my job, and I think the rest will play into it perfectly.
So an ARCA championship could open some more doors for you.
Yeah. I mean, having. I mean, I don't want to say it will and it won't, but I feel like the season as a whole has been, I feel like we've performed good, and hopefully in my next 2 Xfinity starts, I could make a little bit more of a name for myself. So I feel like you just got to perform on the track, and the rest will take care of itself. So
nothing official you can announce for next year yet.
Nah.
Okay. I'm assuming that you're hoping to get some more, at least some part-time Xfinity races again next year.
I mean, I want to win, wherever that is. Xfinity truck.
He's not going to give it up.
1 race, 2 races, 10 races. No, I want to win. So whatever opportunity gives me the opportunity to win, I'm going to take that.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate the time, and we wish you luck in getting that championship this weekend.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
Thank you, Nick.
There you go. Nick Sanchez, Xfinity Series racer, and on the verge of winning that
ARCA Series point leader going into Saturday's race at Toledo.
We'll see if our
mojo works,
or if it's going to be a curse. It is the month of cursing.
Not
like swearing cursing, but
okay.
Like Halloween.
Wow.
It was a
That's
bad
not till
tie-in.
the end of the month.
Yeah, I guess not. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be speaking with Greg Wilson. Speaking of Greg Wilson, he was the winner at Fremont Speedway, his 410 Sprint Season Championship night. Craig Mintz, who we spoke to, what was it, about a month ago?
Yeah.
A few weeks back, ended up winning the championship in the 410s at Fremont. DJ Foose picked up the feature win in the 305s with Paul Weaver picking up his 4th title. Dave Gumby Jr. picked up his 2nd dirt truck feature win, and Jamie Miller, another dirt truck championship.
And Davey was unofficially declared Rookie of the Year in that class. What do those two trucks have in common? Here we go.
Here we go. It's a Ron Miller race car.
Yes, sir. Thank you for noticing.
You're going to have to change the name to Ron Miller Race Cars and Trucks.
Absolutely.
You're going to get some of the sprint guys coming to you and say, hey, can you build me a sprint car?
Nope. I don't have the patience for that.
Whoa. Well, okay then. Why do you need
kind
patience?
Of short and sweet.
What's more difficult with the sprint car chassis?
Nothing. It's just the guys that are building those cars have technology going that I'm not familiar with. Not saying I couldn't learn, but
I can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm not going there.
You're not going. Sticking with the trucks. All right. Well, congratulations to Ron Miller Race Cars and Dave Gumby Jr. on that win. The trucks will be in action one more time next weekend. Well, they're this weekend too.
The trucks alone
next weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the menu there.
Yeah.
Our Big D's Pizza Racing menu coming up a little bit later. There'll be, I don't even remember if it's tomorrow or Saturday. Now I got to look. Trucks are tomorrow, along with the All-Stars, and then there's 305s in the All-Stars.
I knew that.
Saturday. Did you?
Yeah.
So the trucks are racing on Friday night, tomorrow night, and then they're racing the following Friday for the Stocktober deal, where they pitted us
the
Super Stocks,
Oakshade Super Stocks
against the trucks,
Toledo Factory Stocks, and the Fremont trucks.
I'm looking forward to that. I liked running the one time.
Scott, there's going to be a big field of race vehicles. I guess we can't say cars.
And it's just one class. It's all going to be clumped into one class.
Yep. Everybody
1,000 to win.
Everybody
170 to start.
Everybody brings their rule book and
bonus prizes there.
Yeah, money's been flowing in. It's really pretty cool race.
Corey McCoy, he's not had a real good year with his trucks, but he's been having a good year as a promoting events.
Promoter, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk more about that next week. That's that big race coming up a week from Friday. Montpelier Motor Speedway was in action. I think that was their harvest race, wasn't it? Or was that this weekend? This weekend's their harvest race. Tristan Chamberlain picked up the late model feature win at Montpelier on Saturday. That was a 2,000 to win show.
Ooh.
I believe Father Dwayne
Chamberlain
was the hard charger for that. Dylan Nussbaum was the modified winner. Jeff Hinckley picked up street stock feature win. Dalton Smith in the Hornets, and Tony Anderson picked up the super stock win. Sandusky Speedway. It was a busy weekend there.
They had a boatload of cars and classes.
Buttload of divisions out there.
Yeah.
Starting off with Saturday, Vinny Ciconetti was the beginner stock winner. Andrew Bogas won the must-see lights. Chris Harmon was the winner for the National Compact Touring Series. Those are the only feature winners on Saturday. Sunday, they had features for all classes. Zach Myers winning in the Renegades. Josh Poore, the Ohio Wheelman Series. Rick Groach in the Modifieds. Jimmy Carter. I thought he was president. He won the Ohio Gold Cup feature. Vinny again in the beginner stocks. Cody Gallagly won the must-see lights. Trent Aslaskin, pure stocks. Chris Harmon again in the National Compact Touring Series, and Jesse Houghton in the Ace Racing League.
So the Jimmy Carter, that would have been the late model
models,
class?
I do believe, yeah.
Okay. Any idea how many of those they had?
No idea.
Okay. All right.
I did not get that information. World of Outlaw, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Action, Champion Racing Oil National Open at Williams Grove. Friday, it was Lance DeWeese picking up the win. Rain shortened that race by 10 laps. Saturday's portion of the Open was postponed because of rain to Saturday, October 22nd.
Take Nick off the phone.
Nick's not on the phone.
Oh, the screen says he is.
Oh, that's what you meant. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. That happens frequently.
Maybe I should put Greg Wilson on the phone before we call him, so that way I don't forget.
Yeah.
Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Hillbilly 100 last Thursday night at Tyler County Speedway, the makeup race, I guess you could say, because the original date got rained out.
Right.
Kyle Larson.
Surprise.
Picked up the win there. Raceway 7 and Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway events on Friday and Saturday were both rained out. So the only Lucas Oil action was the Hillbilly 100. ARCA Menards Series was in action at Salem Speedway. We had Don Radeball in here last week talking about Salem Speedway. Hers Snacks 200, Sammy Smith winning that. In NASCAR action, the Cup Series racing at Talladega. There wasn't the big one. There was a medium one, but there wasn't a big one.
Just no big deal.
Which I don't know if the drivers are driving a little more careful because they're worried about getting hurt, as Kevin Harvick's been complaining about. We got some Kevin Harvick news coming up too.
Yeah. Let's talk about the concussion protocol maybe a little later in the show.
Okay, when we get to that. Chase Elliott picking up the win there in the Cup Series. In Xfinity on Saturday, A.J. Allmendinger picking up the win in the Sparks 300 at Talladega. A.J. getting a full-time ride again. He's going to be back in the Cup Series next year.
All right.
And Camping World Trucks, Matt DiBenedetto, Matty D picking up the win there.
One of Scott's favorite racers.
They had a caution right at the finish, and I think he actually crossed the line second, but at the time the yellow came out, I guess on their video replay, DiBenedetto
he was
ahead.
leading when the caution hit.
So he was a little happy picking up a win.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. Big D's Pizza Subs, Ribs, Chicken and More in Clyde, Ohio. Give them a call right now, 419-547-1444, or order online, orderbigdspizza.com. Follow them on Facebook for special offers like this week's special, good through Sunday, 10 jumbo chicken wings for $8.99. I misspelled jumbo, that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I put Jummob chicken wings. Big D's and Clyde, big on taste, not on price. They're also hiring drivers and kitchen help. So, jumbo chicken wings.
Ooh, sounds great.
Yeah, and it comes with your choice of dipping sauce as well. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars, but he's going to substitute his commercial this week for an event coming up on Saturday.
That's it.
So, Saturday at Whiteford Stone
Whiteford Stone Co. Park, the Whiteford Fall Festival on Whiteford Road and Stearns Road. Big deal, Scott. We're expecting near 400 cars for the car show. We've had a couple of...
That's about 394 more than the late models at Sandusky, according to...
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, did you? Okay, I just saw that. Anyways,
we've had a couple of food trucks opt out, but I think we've still got 11 or so food trucks coming. Big kids zone for the kids. Life Flight will be coming in.
Not to rescue someone.
No. This is for a demonstration, somewhere between 1 and 3, depending on their schedule. Whiteford Fire Department will be there doing. They'll be cutting up a car.
Hopefully not mine.
Well, as long as you don't bring it.
Okay.
But if you do bring it, be careful.
All right.
There's just so much going on. It's a totally family-friendly event.
Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning?
Starts at 10 in the morning, goes till 5 in the afternoon. If you're bringing a car to the car show, we'll start loading in about 8 in the morning for the early birds.
That's what time you told me to be there.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Well,
we brought Scott in. He's part of the program.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll just be waving. Hi. A little bit of racing news before we give Greg a call here. Rick Eshelman, National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame announcer and World of Outlaw Late Model announcer, was found dead Saturday at the age of 61. His son, Derek Eshelman, issued the following statement late Saturday afternoon, quote, "It is with deep sadness that I have to let you all know that I appreciate every last one of you with all my heart, but my father, Ricky Arthur Eshelman, has taken his life and is hopefully no longer in pain," which came as a shock to us. I mean, if you watched Monday, our interview,
we did a tribute to Rick Eshelman,
where we had our interview that we had with him mid to late August, just a month and a half ago,
right?
And no signs.
We had a great time with that show, Scott. It was a shock. I stunned.
Still kind of numb about that. We'll actually read some of the comments from that, some memories of Rick at the end of the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Tyler Reddick ran into a NASCAR official after his qualifying run at Talladega this weekend. He had no brakes as he turned abruptly into his pit and sent the official back over the pit wall. The official only suffered minor injuries to her leg.
How was the pit wall?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say anything about the pit wall.
Okay.
Was it hurt? Did they have to take it to the infield care center?
I think its feelings were hurt that one of the officials flew over it.
Jordan Anderson lost an engine with 2 laps left in stage 2 of the truck race at Talladega on Saturday, and his truck erupted in flames. Anderson attempted to climb from the truck as it careened into the wall, and he jumped out as it was coming into the inside wall there.
Oh, really?
Did you see that?
I didn't.
Holy cow! Yeah, he was halfway out the window as it's still rolling. Because the flames are so bad,
right.
It hits the safer barrier,
right?
And as it hits, he kind of jumps out onto the safer barrier.
Well, that's pretty athletic.
Yeah, it was, but I could have been.
He was okay. He was okay.
Well, no, He was not okay. He was airlifted to a hospital in Birmingham after suffering second-degree burns on his neck, face, right arm, hands, and both knees. He should be healed up, though, within a few weeks.
Why were his hands burned if he had good gloves on?
Well, why were his knees burned if he had a fire suit on? I guess it only protects for so long. The flames were coming through right into the cab.
And the wind from probably being at speed, yeah.
Yeah, so a scary moment there. It could have been a lot worse. Haley Deegan had a career best finish in the truck race, 6th, but one of her crew members was escorted out of the track after chasing a tire across pit road and into the infield during the race. NASCAR was forced to call a caution due to the dangerous situation. I'm guessing it was instinct that the guy ran out to chase after that tire.
I'm sure he didn't want it rolling out onto the track, so he figured he'd. Yeah,
not a good move. So I think he's been suspended. I'm not sure the full situation there, but yeah. Alex Bowman's going to miss another race as he continues to recover from concussion symptoms. I like how they call this symptoms. He doesn't have a concussion. He just has concussion symptoms. Yeah. Noah Gragson will fill in this weekend in the Cup Series race at the Charlotte Roval. Also, Haley Deegan news this week. She's going to make her Xfinity Series debut next Saturday, same time that Nick Sanchez is back in his Xfinity ride there at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Haley will be driving the 07 SS Greenlight Racing Ford. I don't know that. I don't.
Not familiar with that team.
No, well, that too, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it because of her driving skills or because of her what she brings to? I mean, she's a personality.
Yeah, and let's talk about Dale Jr.
Okay, well, he's not racing.
No, but he was an okay racer.
And you think he got afforded opportunities because of his name?
Not only that, he was a great interview. He was always
It's part of the package. So
Absolutely.
we'll see how she does there. Hopefully it works out well for her. Marco Andretti, this year's SRX Series champion, will make his NASCAR debut with Big Machine Racing, who Nick Sanchez runs in the Xfinity Series for. That's going to be this weekend, as a matter of fact, in the Xfinity race at the Charlotte Roval. So Marco Andretti is going to be running the Roval.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how well he does there. I don't know if you saw this. Jeff Stallnaker, I believe is how you pronounce it, from Ocala, Florida, had his trailer with 2 dirt race cars inside.
I saw that.
Stolen.
That was disgusting.
He had secured the trailer before Hurricane Ian was coming in, but Alex Herring had stolen the trailer before he returned. Herring then buried the stolen race cars and equipment in an abandoned sand pit at a construction site.
He burned the cars and crushed them, then buried them, Scott.
The race cars and equipment were recovered but badly damaged. Herring was booked by the Marion County Sheriff's Office and is in custody without the possibility of making bond for release due to being on probation. He has 9 charges currently. 3 counts of grand theft auto and a whole bunch of others.
I'll bet he doesn't want to show up at a racetrack anywhere near Ocala, Florida.
No, definitely not. I got the Kevin Harvick thing next. We want to save that till after we talk to Greg?
Whatever. You've got the push buttons.
Well, I told Greg we'd call him between 7:35 and 7:40, so.
Well, we're there.
I know. And I figure if you want to talk about this Kevin thing, it may push past 7:40, so.
All right.
We're going to give Mr. Greg Wilson a call here. He's been racing for quite a while.
He has.
Not quite as long as you, but...
What?
You've been racing more than since the early 90s.
Yeah. Red Farmer's got me, but that's about it.
What? No, I believe he's got an event that he's working at down in Fremont. Maybe we can ask him about that. Hello? Nope. Psych.
Well, that was weird.
Yeah. I called him earlier today and went to voicemail, so
Oh, okay.
hopefully if it goes to voicemail, he'll call us right back. Or maybe it forwards to another phone.
I think maybe that's what that little pause was.
Okay. That's fair enough. Again, the Jim and Joanne Ford Classic this weekend. The All-Stars coming to town.
Leave a message for Greg.
That's his voicemail.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Just let us leave a message. Hey, Greg, it's Scott and Ron from the Hammer Down Racer Report. Give us a call back at this number, please.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll hear from you within the next couple minutes. Thanks. Yeah. So hopefully he wasn't busy with whatever he's doing.
You want to talk about Kevin
Let's
Harvick?
talk about Kevin Harvick until we hear from him. Here, we'll take Greg Wilson off of here. False advertising. All right. So Kevin Harvick, he's been outspoken about the safety concerns with the next-gen Cup cars the past few weeks. And yesterday, NASCAR levied heavy penalties against Harvick and his team for alleged modification of a single-source supplied part found on his Ford after the Talladega race. Harvick and Stewart Haas Racing were each docked 100 points.
Ooh.
Crew chief Rodney Childers was fined $100,000.
Ouch.
And suspended for 4 races.
Oh, my.
Do you think that's... there's been...
Retribution,
Yeah, there's
maybe?
been speculation about that. I don't know
Oh,
if
my.
that's true. Conspiracy theories, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kevin, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, but anyway, you want to talk about the safety issues.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that. Yep. Let's go way, way back. East Coast, the pavement modifieds. They used to be very, very strong. Richie Evans drove those, Jeff Bodine. The cars were very, very strong. You could run them into a wall, and
The driver gets the impact.
the driver got the impact. And we lost a lot of really good drivers back then. And I think that may be what's happening with the head and neck restraints. They're holding the head very rigidly. And when the car
they need
comes,
to get a brain restraint so your brain doesn't slam into the front of your
that's
forehead.
That's exactly what I think is happening, that when the car stops, your head stops, but your brain bounces off of your forehead on the inside, and causes these concussion protocol issues.
Somebody needs to come up with an internal brain pellet.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I don't know what the answer is, because obviously there's spinal cord injuries that are possible if your head is untethered, but somewhere there's got to be a happy medium, I think.
At one point, even the last generation of cars, they had like all the foam in the sides,
right.
And it was all driver safety.
Right.
The car was designed to take the impact.
Right.
And I haven't heard that.
But
with
now
this
the new cars are pretty strong. They're really strong. And
are they too strong?
They've got a lot of safety features built into them, but that could be an issue. The car stops.
Do you think they'll take a look at that in the off season, or do you think?
Boy, I can't see them redesigning the car. I really can't. I can see them maybe adding some safety features. Some sort of a crush bumper in front of the main frame.
Maybe they could make them like bumper cars and put like a bumper.
There you go.
Or like the go-karts at your family go-kart track has that bumper thing around it. I don't know how much that would help, but it's like its own safer barrier.
Yeah, its own cocoon, yeah. I don't know. But, that's head and neck injuries according to me, and I'm certainly not a physicist or a neurosurgeon or whoever would fix those things, but there definitely seems to be a rise in brain injuries, and the same thing's happening in football. There's been
is there more of them, or is it just now that they're able to identify it better? Where maybe before it wasn't identified, and there's all these guys racing with.
Well, back in the day, it was just getting your bell rung.
Yeah, exactly.
And
those guys are just silly. It's just the way they are.
Now they've got a name for it.
Concussion symptoms.
Yeah.
All right. The Extreme Outlaw Series event at Atomic Speedway this weekend has been canceled due to the forecasted temps in the low 30s. But that's only in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's like 3 o'clock.
The 2022 Attica 410 Sprint Car Champion Cole Macedo will be sprint racing in Australia.
Oh, cool.
For Mark Mazzi House in January, running the East Coast, I think it said.
Right.
A bunch of the big events.
And there are some real big events on the East Coast for the sprint cars.
So, cool.
The West Coast of Australia is late model country.
And the East Coast is sprint?
It's just the way that it's worked. Now, there are a lot of late models on the East Coast, but...
They have a long way to go to get to a track?
Oh, yeah.
Finally, Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame driver Tom Mayer passed away Monday. He had track championships at Tri-City, Auto City, Dixie, and Owasso. He ran races in ARCA, ASA, Iceman Supercar Series, among others. He was 81.
And a really good racer.
That's what I'm hearing.
True story.
Did you race against him?
We were at the same tracks back in the early days.
So you didn't race head-to-head with him? No. Okay. I'm sure you would have beat him.
Head to some different portion of the body and back in those days, but that's okay.
All right. Well, you have how many coming up? Your chance to win a Big D's Pizza. Should we try give Greg a call here again?
Yeah.
Let's try and read it.
It's fun listening to the phone ring, Scott.
Is it? Well, we'll leave it down low. He seemed excited this morning. Maybe he forgot to turn his ringer on. My brother does that quite often.
Really?
Yeah. I'll call him. He'll call me back like a day later.
Oh.
Greg!
Yeah.
Hey, it's Scott Hammer, Ron Miller. How are you?
Oh, shoot. I forgot all about that. I apologize.
That's all right.
It's only our fourth call.
No.
Well, no, it probably was, because my wife's sitting here and there's people all around me. I'm walking outside now. We're at that event and there's people all around me talking to me. My phone's going off and she's like, I don't recognize it. I'm like,
Oh, shoot. I don't recognize it. I forgot all about it.
Oh.
I apologize.
That's all right. What do you got going on?
The one Pub 400 sponsors Fremont Speedway, and they got, I don't know, 6 or 8 of us cars out here, and they got a good turnout. This, kind of a meet and greet for all the fans that come out to, and just kind of kicking off the weekend here in Fremont.
How late are you guys out there?
8 o'clock.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We're getting about done now.
Okay.
Greg, great run last weekend.
Yes, thank you.
Very, very dominant. I had the I had the luxury of watching you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's we've struggled a little bit throughout the year, but Fremont's been pretty good to us. We've had good speed when we've been here, and obviously hoping that it carries over to this weekend.
I know this guy probably mentioned it, but how many features have you won there?
I'm not sure. I would guess somewhere between.
Overall.
Yeah.
I thought okay. Sorry.
Yeah, overall, I don't know because I think I've won in the 305 and 360s too.
Okay.
But I got to be getting close to 20 or something. I mean, we've traveled so much throughout the years. Even though I'm from here, there's a lot of years that we didn't really race here a whole lot. But I don't know. Fremont's always been one of them places. Once I kind of figured it out, we've always ran really well at.
So how you got the 4 wins this season at Fremont, and you've been running a bunch of different places this year. How would you rate your season overall, at least so far?
I mean, I don't know. If you'd asked me a month ago, I would have probably been quite a bit lower, like a C or something. But, part of that is just, where we went, where we raced, trying to figure stuff out, trying to get comfortable, working with Andy Potter and Joe Lewandowski, for pretty much a full year here. And just kind of getting everything settled in. And I would say right now, I'd say we're I'd say a B.
All right.
I felt like there was times we were really headed in the right direction, and then for whatever reason we kind of got off course and then struggled. And then here the last month, I really feel since Sharon Nationals, Andy started kind of changing some stuff on the car back around, and I immediately got comfortable, and it seems like we've been a lot better. And so, hopefully we can at least finish out the year strong here.
So you'll be ready to hit the ground running in 23.
Yeah. I think so.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I always am very tentative about, what happens moving forward, just because, we do a lot. I guess I deal with a lot of the sponsorship stuff with Hercules Tire Logistics and DNC. And then, obviously you deal with all those things and make sure them are in concrete. And then you start working with, Joe and Diane Sealing and figuring out what you want to do, what they want to do. And I mean, there's a lot of pieces to a puzzle that sometimes people really don't realize. And especially probably with my deal a little bit, because the people that have supported us for a long time. And we like to make sure that everybody's happy.
So how do you come up with your season schedule, or what races you're going to hit? You've done some World of Outlaws this year, some All-Stars, a lot of All-Stars, and some off.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of sit down and, with Hercules being involved, they're a national company. And so we try to look at getting to areas that will do well with them. So we kind of lay out a schedule that we think would be good, go back to them, go back and forth 2 or 3 times, try to look at things that maybe that would be more beneficial to them. And, we work hard at trying to take care of the people that take care of us to keep us going. But yet, as an example, I'm not very good at Williams Road Speedway. Okay. So you make a choice to stay away from there. I'm not 20 years old no more, and I don't feel like we have to go there. So, unless we work with our partners and they say that we need to be there, we try to pick your schedule to where you feel like you can be competitive and the car can do well. And, all those kind of things.
You were talking about Pennsylvania. A lot of the Pennsylvania posse guys are no spring chickens either. So, your experience should play. Your experience should play into that.
Yeah, well, I feel like it does in the right situation. But I don't know. Those guys are really tough over there.
They are.
Those tracks are unique. It's not something that you see a lot from where I come from. I'd like to get back over there if we could get our ducks in a row and really feel like we could go over there and at least be competitive. I feel like that we still got some work to do to get to that point. I feel like our mid-size to short track stuff is pretty good right now. Our bigger track stuff, we just got some work to do, the bottom line. And it's a little bit about me doing a better job and communicating and working on our cars and trying to get things a little bit better. But, it's just so competitive. And you talk about Pennsylvania, those guys are really, really good there. A lot of them don't leave, and which even makes it harder. So, what you're getting when you get there. The one thing that I miss about PA is that the fans, a little bit ruthless at times, but they're awesome. When they're cheering for the posse during the races, that's what it's about, and they don't really care if you're there or not. They want to run you off. But after the races are over, they're some of the coolest fans in the whole country.
Nice. So do you prefer running a schedule like that, or would you prefer, following a series in running for a championship? I'm guessing it's probably a little less stressful not having to worry about points.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that follows me knows that I'm, my family means the world to me. So my daughters are getting a little older and they're getting into sports, and we put them back in regular school. And so, when you don't chase a points deal, it makes it a little easier to adjust your schedule. Like our schedule's a little lighter at the beginning of the year and a little lighter at the end of the year. And I'm just trying to make it to where I can still be a dad. I miss things about it. I actually been kicking around, like I would like to do the All-Star thing again a year or two before I decide to be done. But it's just about putting the right sponsorship in place, building the right team, everybody being on the same page. Because if you're just going to go to do it, but you're not really prepared or ready or so on and so forth, a bounce around schedule is a little easier for everybody involved, whether it be car owners, sponsors, me as a parent, as a dad, the mechanic. When you get out on the road, no matter what series you're following, it tends to drain on people. So
a possible third All-Star championship that would
be really cool. That would be really cool. I've been very fortunate and very blessed to be able to do this for a long time, and I've been lucky enough to do decent throughout my career. But to do that, and there's one big race I'd love to get before I quit, and if I could be competitive at the King's Royal, that would.
Yep.
I'd probably be a mic drop if I won that thing. Probably be all over right then.
That could be a career in itself.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things that I really enjoy the people. I really enjoy being around the fans. I love racing. I love working on race cars. I told my wife here a while back that maybe I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I've done this my whole life, and I thought maybe I just want to walk away and do something else, right? But the more that I think about it, I like to be involved when I decide to be done doing something, and it's mostly just the people, and you just meet so many darn good people, and it's just racing's pretty unique.
I just got a message here that Chris Andrews is going to be in the Lane racing car this weekend, and Rich Farmer is putting up an extra $5,000 for a Fremont regular.
I think that's $500.
Yeah, $5,000 seems a lot.
I think Dean added a
Rich
zero.
Farmer may have some deep pockets there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Rich is a pretty cool guy. there's been times when Rich ran the track that probably throughout the years, him and I didn't see eye to eye, but I always respected the fact of what he done for the sport, what he does for the sport, owning cars, and he has always given back to the racetrack. He's a huge part of the Fremont Hall of Fame, and basically helped get that thing up off the ground and running. And he truly loves the sport, and he's a pretty cool guy.
Well, he just says no. It's 5,000.
I can believe it. Rich don't mess around.
Dang.
Yeah, Rich don't mess around. He makes things happen.
Do you count as a Fremont regular though? I mean, are you?
I hope so. I hope so. It's kind of funny. I was driving up here to the place we're at Pub 400, and I come by the Fremont Airport, and this is no joke. I'm driving on 53 North, and I look over at the airport, and I'm like, man, that guy looks like Rich Farmer walking down the airport. So, and I blew the horn, waved back, and I'm like, I got to find out. So I hurried up and I called him. I'm like, dude, I don't know if you fly planes or not, but there ain't no way in heck I'm getting in an airplane with you. And it was him. He was out there messing around with it. So he likes to be involved in a lot of stuff, and he's always been obviously a bit of a adventure guy or something, because I don't know why I don't even like flying. I dang sure wouldn't want to fly my own airplane.
Oh, well, Dean Henry here, he just said you have to be top 10 in points.
Gotcha. Well, that's all right. It's pretty awesome that he does that for the locals. Yes, because you know what? Whatever team, if a team could get that kind of money, changes things for small teams that run weekly.
Yeah.
And we kind of lose sight of that sometimes. When these big races come up, one guy leaves with the big money, and to do something like that, and if a local guy wins, I mean, it could change their whole winter and what they may do next season, which is pretty awesome.
That's a big enough carrot to make you spend a few extra hours in the shop.
Yeah.
So
and there's a lot of good guys that run at Fremont that will be competitive and have a shot at winning this thing.
Oh, you bet.
That's one thing about Attica and Fremont. You always see whether it's the All-Stars, the Outlaws come to town, the locals can run up front, because it's kind of like Pennsylvania. They run here and they run here all year long, and they get really, really good.
So what's your confidence level coming off of last week's win for going into this weekend?
Well, obviously, if we'd run 20th last week, the confidence level wouldn't be very high. But when you have done it as long as I have, you realize that the sport's very humbling. You can go from 0 to 0 really, really quick. And with the caliber cars that are coming this weekend, I feel like we got as good a shot as any. Andy's been really, really good with getting our car to where I'm comfortable, especially here. So I feel like our chances are pretty good, but we definitely got to put a whole night together with the crowd that's coming. We got to time good in our heat race and make it out of our heat. And I don't think you can. I think you'd run good, but with this group of cars, I don't think you can win from 20th. So I feel like we need to position ourselves throughout the night to give ourselves a shot to win. But now I feel like things roll along right. We have a little luck, and the driver don't mess up. We should have as good a shot as any.
Is the fact that it's going to be a little chilly, is that going to play into it at all?
Yeah. Does that help you or hurt you?
I'm getting older, and I wrecked a lot when I was younger, and my back hurts. So I wanted to hurry up and get it done while it's still warm out. No, it'll affect the racetrack a little bit, I think, and it definitely can affect how the motors run. Normally Fremont, after qualifying, the track comes in pretty quick and starts flicking up a little bit, yep. and so it kind of takes that out of the equation after that. But you never know. I mean, the guys at Fremont, Fremont Speedway has done a wonderful job of keeping a pretty good racetrack all year, changing it up a little bit. And, so you don't know what you can get, especially with the weather the way it's going to be.
Yeah. So after your win last weekend, you mentioned you shared some thoughts on Rick Eshelman, a good friend of Ron and I's. Apparently you knew him as well. How big of a shock was that to hear that news on Saturday.
I'll tell you, all week long, you see the stuff that they're putting on social media and some of the things that they've done. And it's really cool because Rick was not, it's funny because I talked to him for probably about an hour. I'd like to say it was earlier this year, but it could have been the tail end of last year. You see so many people, but the story is like when I was starting racing and maybe 4 or 5 years in, Rick was just really getting into the announcing thing. And he'd always joke, I'd run a lot of 360 stuff, and he'd always joke that every time that he'd come and announce, he announced a little bit at Lima, but like Eldora and stuff, he'd always joke that he was my good luck charm. And so we kind of, it's funny because you don't see, I didn't see him a lot because he went late model racing, but you follow each other throughout the years. And he'd bump into me and he'd be like, "Hey, I seen you on this, and this. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I heard your interview for this, and man, how awesome was that?" And, so point to it is he was a great guy, good friend. And, it's just sad, we all go through things in life and you don't know what the good Lord's going to give you. And, you don't know what other people are dealing with. And, I've not always been, I'm not the nicest guy. I've made mistakes in my life, just like everybody. We're not meant to be perfect, but you don't know what people are going through. And, I would have never thought in a million years that Rick had something bothering him. Not to that extreme. And from the, people that I knew that knew him, I think they all felt the same way. And so I don't know, just sad, but, what a good man. And, pretty cool that he got inducted to the Late Model Hall of Fame and to see all the cool things that he did when I witnessed him starting out and just getting his feet on the ground and learning the game of what he did. And he's going to go down as one of the great all-time announcers in the sport.
He is.
Definitely. Good for the sport all around.
Yeah.
But
yep.
So any more racing for you after this weekend?
I'm not 100% sure on the next few weeks. Obviously after the weekend, things get pretty slim pickings here through the Midwest just because of weather and football. But we'll definitely do Charlotte. That's kind of the last races on our schedule. So we'll do Charlotte, and I don't know if we'll do something in between there. And just start getting geared up for next year, and probably go to a bunch of volleyball and basketball games.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of times it seems to be, I think our average was 70-80% of our guests, their next race, they'd go on and win their next race. So,
well, I hope that holds true.
Yeah, no pressure for you this weekend.
Maybe we can delay it from Friday to Saturday. Would that
or both?
Well, yeah.
Hey, both would be wonderful, but if you could win either night with the caliber cars that are going to be here, you've done something. Like I said, the local racing at Attica and Fremont's tough enough already, and you throw in the cars that'll be here for the weekend with the All-Stars, and some of the outsiders are going to be coming in because it's a 2-day weekend. It's going to be extremely competitive and extremely tough. And if you can do good, something to be proud of.
Well, make sure to dress warm.
Hey, we'll do. We'll do. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't get quite as cold as they're saying.
Well, they did move up the start time an hour, so gates open at 3, racing at 6 on both Friday and Saturday. So hopefully that helps.
That'll be good. It'll be pretty chilly, so it'd be good to get started as early as we can.
Yeah. We appreciate the time. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having us, and thanks for what you're doing for the sport. All this promotional stuff and different, webcasts and all this stuff it's good for everybody involved. And thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Greg, and we enjoy doing this. So yeah,
that we win-win then, right? It's
That's
a win-win.
There you go.
Take care, guys.
Do me a favor. Watch one of the truck races and make sure you cheer for the P51 truck.
Ron built that truck.
P51.
Yeah, Ron.
Yeah, the P51. That's my granddaughter's husband. So.
Oh, that too. I forgot about that.
We'll be cheering for him.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we'll see you, Greg.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. There you go. Greg Wilson, 4-time winner this year at Fremont Speedway, trying to make 6 wins.
Yeah.
If he can win tomorrow and Saturday night.
That'd make a good weekend.
It would. If he was top 10 in points and at Fremont, that would be a super weekend.
But that's only Saturday.
Yeah. Anyway. We have some pizza to give away from Big D's Pizza.
Ooh.
Last week's how many dirt trucks were going to be at Fremont on Saturday. That number was 28. Guess what number I picked last week?
I think you picked 28.
That's right. I picked 28. Whoops, that's not the right button. Yeah.
Where is it, Scott?
I don't know. It's like they changed the options here. Present screen? I don't know. Maybe that's okay. They changed the name of it. We got to spin the Big D's Pizza Wheel for our
4 winners?
Yeah, to choose who the winner is going to be, because we did have a bit of a tie. That number again was 28. I picked 28. But
those folks all copied you because
they did not. Actually, nobody copied me.
Because you know all and see all.
Nobody
right?
picked 28.
Really?
We had Matt Swander, Brian Hammer, John Young all picked 27.
Uh-huh.
And Gretchen Knapp picked 29. I misspoke. Dean Henry picked 28. But Dean Henry owns the pizza.
Sorry, Dean, you lose on this one.
So he can have his... He wins pizza every day. Congratulations. Yeah, Dean was the only one to actually get it right on the nose. But one off, Matt Swander, Brian Hammer, John Young, and Gretchen Knapp. And so we're going to have to spin the Big D's Pizza Wheel to determine this week's winner. Let's put us down here. See if this works a little better.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. We're spinning the wheel. Good for a Big D's Pizza.
Anybody but John Young. Anybody but John Young. Oh, there we go.
Matt Swander. Looks like he's going to get the Big D's Pizza.
John Young just wins way too often.
He does. Matt wins quite a bit, too. He'll probably donate it to
some
local first responders.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty cool deal there, too. So, congratulations, Matt Swander. You have 30 days to claim your pizza or let them know what to do with it. This week's how many? And chance to win a Big D's Pizza for next week. How many ARCA Menards Series cars will be at Toledo? The entry list is available, so that's easy. Plus, how many All-Stars will be at Fremont? All-Stars and the regular 410s, we'll say 410s, will be at Fremont on Saturday night.
On Saturday.
So it's how many ARCA Menards Series cars at Toledo, and plus how many 410s at Fremont on Saturday as well.
I thought
that
maybe
total number.
I thought you were going to throw the 305s and the 410s. Just call it all sprint.
No,
cars.
that's too easy. Actually, be more difficult, but no.
Yeah.
Nope, just the 410s at Fremont and the number of ARCA Menards cars at Toledo on Saturday. Just that total number. I don't want 2 numbers. Just a total number. Steve says 42. I have to pick first.
Oh,
don't
yes,
I?
you do.
I'm not stalling enough. Doug Frost says 61. That's a wide range. Well, I think there's going to be about 26 of the ARCA Menards Series. That's what's on the entry list. And we'll say we get about 40 of those. And that'd be... I'm going to go with Doug. I think it's closer there. Dean says 51. I'm going to go with 60. I'm going with an even 60.
The professor says 56.
56 for the professor.
Yes, sir.
So if you'd like a chance to win Big D's Pizza, put your guess, just a number, in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. You have until noon on Saturday because the ARCA race is at 4. So noon on Saturday. That's noon Eastern.
Boy, there's some pretty big numbers coming in there, Scott.
Yeah, I'm thinking mine might be a little low. I wanted to go a little higher. I
yeah,
think
but
Kurt
you're
Dickey might be right
but
there.
You're the highest, so
62. Yeah, I'm higher than you, so I guess that makes sense.
So you would win.
Yeah, but yeah. So we'll find out what that number is next week on the show. This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing menu. Tomorrow night, Friday, it's the Jim and Joanne Ford Classic night number 1 with the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions and the dirt trucks in action. The start time, everything's been moved up an hour due to the colder temperatures. We'll have Ryan Weekman here in just a minute to give you that weekend weather pit stop forecast. So gates will open at 3, racing at 6 p.m. General admission $25. Saturday, Toledo Speedway. It's the Shore Lunch 200 for the ARCA Menards Series. That race actually starts at 4, but there's going to be racing before that. Late model sportsman and factory stock will be in action. That racing will start at 12:30. Gates will open at 10:20 a.m. At Toledo Speedway. Tickets are $31, and you can catch the ARCA race on MAV TV starting at 4. Montpelier Motor Speedway season championship / top dog face-off shootout. The modified super stocks, street stocks, Hornets, all double points for them, and the Midwest Thunder Midgets will be in action. Gates open at 2:30, racing at 5 over there in Montpelier, Indiana. And they just posted the Monster Mash deal.
Really?
What they're going to be doing for that. That's coming up at the end of the month. I think it's the 28th and 29th. It's Friday and Saturday, whatever that is at the end of the month.
It'll be warmer by then, right?
Probably. It usually is. But they've opened up the rules on what you can run. So I'm thinking about
Really?
I might actually run that. Yeah. It's like for the super stocks, it's just a stock front clip and 8-inch tires. I think that's
all
it.
right.
So the pretty open rules there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You might look for some little better tires then too.
I might. I was thinking about
Yeah.
that. That also costs money.
Chris Rattan says that Springport this weekend, Friday through Sunday, is their big weekend.
All right.
The Michigan Cup.
Also Saturday, Fremont Speedway. It's night number 2 of the Jim and Joanne Ford Classic with the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions and the 305 Sprints. Again, gates open at 3, racing at 6, and general admission $25. And that's the finale for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, and sort of the finale of sprint car racing at Fremont this year.
Right.
They got one more event coming up the following weekend.
Actually, I think there's 2 events. I think there's a Saturday something or another. It's
at Fremont. There's a demolition derby.
Yeah, a lot of destruction.
Okay, that counts as a Fremont race.
Well, it's an event.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
It's
a
part
race.
it's a festival that's
Right.
going on that weekend.
Right.
Other series action, the Nittany Showdown at Port Royal Speedway in Pennsylvania for the World of Outlaw NASA Energy Drink Sprint Cars. That's Friday and Saturday night. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series will be at the Talladega Short Track on Saturday. The Xfinity Series Drive for the Cure 250 at Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, otherwise known as the Roval. That'll be Saturday, October 8th at 3 p.m. on NBC. Is that on NBC? Yeah, I guess both races are on NBC. The NASCAR Cup Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course on Sunday, October 9th at 2 o'clock, also on NBC. Your weekend weather pit stop forecast for action around here this weekend. Here's Ryan Weekman with what you can expect.
Hey there, meteorologist Ryan Weekman here in the WTOL 11 Weather Center with your weekend weather pit stop forecast. Let's talk about Friday out at Fremont. It's going to be a little bit on the chilly side, but we should have dry racetrack for you. It does look like temperatures will be falling through the 40s, though, during race time. So it's getting to that time of the year. Grab those thicker outer layers. Saturday, looking at Toledo Speedway, Montpelier, and Fremont. The earlier races at Toledo look gorgeous. We're expecting lots of sunshine later into the evening there down at Fremont. Looks a little bit chillier, but again, dry conditions, most important of all. Does look like we should be able to get all races in this weekend with relatively quiet weather, albeit a little bit on the cool side. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
You got to talk to Ryan
I
the
did.
other day. Was that Wednesday? Yesterday you were on TV?
Yes.
Talking about the festival this
Yeah,
weekend?
Ryan has been the champion of inclusive playgrounds in this area where kids with handicaps can play right alongside kids normally abled. And he's just a wealth of knowledge. And after
he was behind the one they built in Perrysburg, and they're building the one in BG.
They're just wrapping up the one in Bowling Green, right? I think we can.
You're going to try and rope him into.
I'm going to get him involved.
Okay.
I hope you're listening, Ryan.
Nice, very nice. Hammer Down Hotline. We did have a text this week, but we're going to save that for next week. Because I wanted to do something a little bit different. But if you'd like to call or text at 419-318-3081, that's 419-318-3081, anytime, day or night, and talk about anything racing related. Leave any memories or comments you want about Rick Eshelman.
Call 24/7. Operators are waiting for your call.
The one we had was a racing related one from last Friday, but it can wait till next week. So we'll get to that. So, but we appreciate the call. So we were getting ready to shut down the Hammer Down hotline, but
no, we're not.
At least one individual likes to keep it going. I don't know who that is. Actually, I do, but anyway. Some of the comments from our Rick Eshelman thing, if you haven't watched that, kind of interesting just to see.
Please do. It was such an upbeat interview with Rick that...
Yeah, no indication that there was anything going on behind the scenes with him.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
That interview is archived both on YouTube and our Facebook channel.
Yep, I put the podcast up of it, the audio-only version, just last night, as a matter of fact. Too.
Okay.
Wasn't going to do that originally. I was going to leave that as just a Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook thing, but I decided to throw it up there, and it actually has been getting quite a few.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, I was looking at our statistics.
Really?
On our podcast.
Our statistics?
Yeah. India has fallen to third.
Really?
Australia is back up to second. So we're obviously, most of our listeners come from the U.S., but second most is now Australia. Third is India, and then Canada is following India. So come on, Canada. Let's get it going.
All of our Canadian friends, you got to step up your program.
Yeah.
We know you're up there.
And that's just the podcast. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Spotify or iHeart Radio, those are the four biggest ones I think that people listen to us on.
Right.
But there's all kinds of. You can also check it out at hammerdownracingreport.com. So some of the comments we got from that, Arnold Kirsch says, Rick would call me out from the announcer booth in Florida during speed weeks. That was very special to me and very kind of Rick. Chris Miller, who used to work in the tower at Oakshade, used to work with her. She worked with Rick before me. Says, great guy, always had fun in the tower when he announced Fly High Rick. Raina Hendricks says she can vouch for him coming down to get his own kraut dogs and burgers. I don't know if I should read this as her or me. Quote, I worked in the Polish stand when he announced at Oakshade, and I waited all night for him to come down and get them so I could hear whatever goofiness he wanted to share that night. He had lots of goofiness, that's for sure. Barbara Orange says, I remember Rick at Toledo Speedway back in the day. Scott Noller, I remember Rick running to the washroom like a penguin after one too many kraut dogs. I don't remember that. And Cheryl Disgrange says, my heart is breaking so much. He was an amazing man. So,
he was.
There you go. That's it for this week's show. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer. He helped out a lot this week. I was pretty darn busy, so I actually made him work. Should give him a raise.
Double his salary.
Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, Bob Stazak also contributing as well. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. As we mentioned, we're on all 597 of them. I don't know, I'm making that up. But we are on all of them. You can check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. Make sure to rate and review us. Share us with your friends. That helps us out. And I think that Toledo City Paper Best of nominations is coming out this month sometime.
Yeah, I looked a couple days ago and it wasn't up yet.
I think it's usually toward the second part of the month.
Okay.
Maybe around the 20th. So we'll see if we got nominated.
Then we'll start begging for you to vote for us.
Yeah, I hope we didn't get nominated.
That would be nice.
Thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Big D's Pizza, Ram Miller Race Cuts, Freeze Frame Photos, Dominator Race Products, Headhunters, Barber Studio and Salon. Thanks again also to our guests, Nick Sanchez and Greg Wilson. We'll see you next Thursday at...
Good luck to both of them this weekend.
7 o'clock, yeah. Lots of racing this weekend. Racing season coming to an end, so get out and support your local track or somebody else's local track. Just get out and support them so it doesn't grow weeds.
That's it.
See you next week.
Goodbye, y'all.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.